Hey, Belladonna Laveau, the Archpriestess of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church, coming to you from the Mother Church balcony. It's beautiful. There's the river right across there. On the other side of that car you're looking at, you can see the river. Nice. Yeah. Pete made this place just for us. Can you see the mountain? The Mother Church is at the confluence of 3 river forks. It's the third fork in the river. And you have to cross water like 3 times to get here. And there's a lot of that crazy stuff. But today I wanted to talk to you about air in the north. So when I was a new witch, I wanted to understand why we called earth in the north and air in the east, because none of that made any sense to me. I mean, why? Why is it there? Why do we call fire in the south? And why do we call water in the west? And nobody really had good solid answers for me that I found at that time. And I eventually moved on to other questions and just took it that that's how we did it. And then one day, this gentleman came and he said, I want you to read this article called Rethinking the Watchtowers by Mike Nichols. And I read it, and I got like a first paragraph into it, and I was like, you are insane. We cannot move the watchtowers. Forget it. I'm not reading this stupid article. I got other things to do. And he was like, Bella, because I'm a triple fixed sign, you got to know that when I decide to change something, there's a really good reason, and I have been convinced, because I'm not easily convinced. And he said, Bella, just read the article. Just have an open mind for just a minute and read the article. And so I did. And it had 13 reasons why air should be in the north. And I was like, well, this is just crazy talk. But I started reading that, and that's still available. If you want to look that up on the internet, Rethinking the Watchtowers by Mike Nichols, 13 reasons why air should be in the north. And he had a bunch of reasons, 13 to be in exact. But the one that really got me was astrology. There might be a lot of different reasons in there, and one might get you other than astrology. But the reason the astrology one got to me is because if it's in the sky that way, that's our basic tenet. As above, so below. As above, so below. Okay, so look up. What is up? I mean, we can be metaphorical if we want to, but we can also be real dang literal. What's in the freaking sky are the stars. So if the stars are a certain way and the Sabbats are based on where the sun and the moon are in the zodiac at certain times, and we worship the moon based on where it is in the sky as opposed to the sun, because the full moon is when the moon is opposed to the sun, and the new moon is when the sun and the moon are conjunct. So suddenly it's not just this thing that we do because we're witches. Suddenly it's, oh my goodness, we do this because it's astrological. So I wanted to share with you something. So let me see if I can turn this around. No, I don't think I can. Okay. All right. So check this out. Okay, so let's say we put air in the north. Assuming this is not backwards, and if this shows the earth on the west side from you and the water on the east side from you, then it's backwards, because that's what I'm seeing. Okay? But I want you to look at air is across from fire and water is across from earth. See how the yellow is at the top, which is air, and the red is at the bottom, which is fire, and the green and the blue are on the flat axis, right? The horizontal axis. Because what? This straight up and down is masculine, and this is feminine, right? Okay? So like a flat line, the minus line, that's feminine because feminine is receptive and this is projective. That's why you have minus is just one line and plus is minus with a plus on top of it, because you're female first and then you decide to be male in the womb, right? All babies start out female. So you have to have the feminine first. So you have the minus sign and then you add the plus sign on top of it is the projective. It's even in our math. Okay, so if you look at this wheel, air is across from fire and earth is across from water, no matter how you turn it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that means that in the sky, ouch, that the heavens have earth across from water and air across from fire. So let's look at the zodiac signs, because even with my kids, I did this with my kids when I was little. I stand students in front of the quarter and say, okay, what do you see? And then we move them around the circle and say, okay, what do you see? And when you're standing facing the eastern quarter, you're right between fire and water. There's no earth there. Right? And when you're facing the southern quarter, you're right between air and water. There's literally no fire zodiac sign there. None. But that's because when you're calling the quarter, let me see if I can find the right one that's supposed to go up. Is this right? No, this one's the correct one. This is the way it is in the sky. So when you're calling the eastern, see, it's backwards for me, so I can't see it. I need to do it like this with you and look at it together. So when air is in the north, it's actually like this, okay? Because right here, this is Yule. This right here, this line, this is the beginning of the winter solstice. So right here, there's a fire sign and an earth sign, but there's no air quarter right here. There might be an earth quarter, but that's confusing, right? So let's go back over here to the eastern, where I was at. You're right between water and fire. There's no air, right? But there's this really interesting thing about science, is that the earth is tilted, okay? So in space, this little point of Yule right here at the top, that's not north in space. In space, the zodiac Aquarius is due north. And if you put the zodiac Aquarius in due north, then you have the zodiac Taurus in the east and Leo in the south and Scorpio in the west. Which means what? It means that the fixed signs of the zodiac are what scientists use to determine north, south, east, and west in space. So if you use astrology, you can clearly see that if you look in the very center of the circle, that green wedge, that's spring. That green wedge, that's all of spring. And the yellow wedge is winter. Okay? So what does that mean about the elements? Well, okay, so air is studious. You turn on the air conditioner because you want it to be colder, all right? Air is the mind is it's the realm of thought. Air is the realm of thought, okay? Aquarius is an air sign, the fixed air sign. It's the realm of thought. It's on the dark side of the wheel, where you don't have a physical form. The dark half of the wheel has water and air, which is emotion and thought. The light side of the wheel has earth and fire, which is the physical body and the actions that you do with it. So when you use astrology, it makes a whole different world. You have a scientific baseline for understanding magic, and you can fix all of the issues that might come up along your path. So join us at Sickle, because we're going to go into all this at Hecate Sickle Festival. There are 5 days until early discount tickets end. http://sickle.me to register and join us to learn all about astrology.